All right, chat, could you spend $1 trillion in one day?
You just got $1 trillion.
I did?
Not a million, not a billion, a trillion.
No! Wait, though. And Mr. Beast, because Mr. Beast had that much money, so why doesn't he just make this a challenge video? I don't know, bro. Mr. Beast, like, come on, bro. You gotta make this into
There's a
video.
catch. You need to spend all of it in the next 24 hours,
All right,
or
I can do
you
that.
lose
I can
everything.
do that.
This should be easy. First, you
I'm
need
going
a
to
new car.
McDonald's.
Go to your local exotic dealership and buy yourself a Lambo. And a Ferrari. And a
Yep.
McLaren. You know
Yep.
what? Just
Buy
buy
them
up the
all.
entire
Yep, that's
dealership.
exactly
Now
what
you
I
have the
would do.
$12 million
See, 12 million not enough though. You got to go to like a better car dealership. You got to go to like an exotic car dealership. But it's a good start. It's a good start.
garage of
We're
your
on
dreams.
the right track.
But there's one small problem. In order to spend $1 trillion in 24 hours,
It was only that much?
you would need to buy out that entire dealership every single second. You need to think bigger. Let's hire 100 people to
Okay.
track down the 100 most expensive yachts and
Good
buy
idea.
them for us. And let's throw in $1 million bonus for each mercenary. That'll be around a $40 billion check, but let's also buy the biggest cruise ship of all time for $2 billion
like
and
it.
fill it up to maximum
be on the
capacity,
seas.
paying for everyone's tickets and tossing in a Rolex too. Let's make use of this ship's basketball court by buying up every single NBA team and having them
Could we get Sydney Sweeney as a halftime show? I feel like that'd be a good investment. I feel like that would be a good investment. But realistically, I'm finna rig it for the Warriors versus Cavaliers.
battle it out. Then let's get Snoop Dogg, Katy Perry, Justin Bieber, and Beyonce to perform for us before sending them off to the International
bye-bye.
Space Station on a SpaceX
Bye.
rocket that costs $55 million per passenger. Now that you're hanging with rich people, you need a status
I do.
symbol. You could buy the world's most expensive art
Is that
piece for
Mona
$500
Lisa?
million, but why would you do
I think that's Mona Lisa, chat. That's Mona Lisa.
that when you could just buy the entire Metropolitan Museum of Art for $100 billion, and then we can go over to
I'm buying that.
transaction failed. There's no way we're
My bank account declined?
failed. There's no way we're already out of money. Yeah, we
Yeah,
still have
no way.
$800 billion.
Yeah, I need that
The
money.
Metropolitan Museum is an educational institution whose assets are held for the public benefit and are not owned by... You know what?
Holy
Forget about
yap
the map.
session, bro. The government just be yapping too much. Like, I'm finna steal that from y'all at this point.
The entirety of New York City is worth around 1.3 trillion. There are currently
There's only that much?
33,210 vacant units available, so let's hire
buying
33,000 people to snatch those up
Yep.
for us. And of course, throw in
Yep.
a 100K commission. But here's
job,
something you
guys.
need to think about. The most expensive real estate purchase in US history was this $240 million concrete brick. That might sound like
Who
a lot of
paid
money,
for that?
but you spending $240 million is like an average person spending $60. I think instead of buying houses, you should build a mega project. The sky is truly your limit. You can build your project wherever you want. If there's people in the way, buy them out with your pocket change. Or maybe try the Saudi Arabia method and relocate them into a graveyard. Actually, I think the Middle East is exactly where we need to go. So let's buy one.
Nah, we ain't going there, twin. There's a guy named Osama there. I heard he bad. I don't think we should go there. It might be dangerous.
Gulfstream G650 for each day of the year and fly across the world.
If we own a Gulfstream, though, it might be kind of chill.
Welcome to the Arabian Peninsula, where people will build literally anything. The world's biggest picture frame, the world's largest clock, the
built that?
massivest cube, the tallest structure ever, man-made
like me in the
sinking
morning.
islands shaped after the world map from memory. These are cool.
Why the
Let's
US
build an
not
even
look like
bigger
the US?
artificial island for 20 billion. Of course, we can't forget about labor cost, so for that, let's budget in $10. Then let's buy every
Nah, that's
single
not-
one of
that-
those mega projects I just
Bro,
showed you.
how you gonna pay them with $10? How are they gonna survive? I think they would die on $10.
For a total donation of $101,292,000,000
Oh,
and
like
$10 to our Middle Eastern boys. But while you're here, take a look at the Burj Khalifa, the current tallest
Mia
building in the
Khalifa?
world. If you were to stack $1 bills to the very top,
Oh,
the
it's a
tower would
billion.
be worth 7.58 million. You still need to spend 87,000 times that. A stack so high it would go past the International
Who is
Space
that?
Station.
She bad, bro. Not gonna lie.
If you ever want to spend this money, you need to stop thinking in real estate and start
Okay.
thinking in 51st state.
We buying a
Do you
country.
see where I'm going with this? Buy a country. In 2010,
like it.
the country of
Let's
Liechtenstein put
invade
itself on
them.
Airbnb at 70 grand a night. This is literally nothing. You can't be looking at countries hoeing themselves
Yeah, we
out for
need
pennies.
more.
You need the ultimate prize.
Who's shorty on
Somewhere
the left?
cooler. Somewhere strategic.
Is
Let's
that a
buy
B2 bomber?
Greenland. Based on the market price of its mineral reserves, the world's biggest island has a price tag of around 200 billion. We can afford
that's
that,
enough.
but there's
We
one
could
small
buy
thing
it.
in our way. During Trump's first term, when he proposed the conquest of Greenland, the country dismissed the idea as completely ridiculous and firmly stated that Greenland
Why
is
though?
not for sale. Huh. Let's buy an F-35 for $80 million.
Buy 2 of
Fuck
them.
it. 2 F-35s.
Yes, I like the way you think.
10, 100, 2 aircraft carriers, 3 destroyer ships, 1 ballistic missile
We're gonna
submarine,
invade
57,000
Greenland.
Blackwater soldiers, 1 for every citizen of Greenland. Now
That's
we
a
have
good
a $50
idea,
billion
bro.
makeshift military, and it looks like Greenland's
We
for
can hire
sale
this
after
guy as
all.
vice president.
But by this point in your trillionaire spending spree, people are starting to take notice. Your exploits might not have hit TikTok
See?
yet, but rumblings are beginning behind closed governmental doors.
We don't
Luckily
care
for
about
you,
them. We
there's not
rich.
much politicians can say once you own them. Buy a politician. We got Trump here for $1.5 billion. Kamala is almost $2 billion, but you do get a free Joe Biden. Let's buy up both of
That's
those
a
and
deal.
every sitting member of the Senate and House for a grand total of $7.2 billion for the entirety of American politics.
feel like
This is
that's
a
a
great
steal.
deal, but there's a
Wait, doesn't that mean that Elon Musk could really just own the world? Because if you think about it, if he could just buy the president and then make him not the president, then he could become the president. And then once he's the president, he pretty much owned the world. So I feel like Elon Musk really is just like the leader of the world, if that makes sense.
catch. Money influences politics, but it doesn't always decide it. I mean, look at the presidential race. Democrats outspent Republicans and still lost because $2 billion can't buy aura. More recently, Elon dropped millions of dollars campaigning for an election in Wisconsin, only to find out that shit no longer works when everyone hates you. Even BlackRock doesn't always get what they want. $1 trillion gives
do
you
be raising
access
the
to
rent, though.
almost everything. But culture and public perception are things that are not for sale. Just kidding. Let's buy every single media company. The Washington Post,
Propaganda.
Time Magazine, the New York Times, Comcast, Fox. Global ad spend for an entire year
I'm
is
the
around
best
1
person in the
trillion.
world.
That averages to $3 billion
Why
a
the
day.
cops
So let's
outside my
run
house?
1 week straight of propaganda and we should be good. But if you're still
God,
getting
there's a
heat, there's
police
one
chase.
final method you can use. A donation a day keeps the guillotine away.
Yo, Chad,
It's
why there a
time for
police chase
philanthropy.
outside?
There are a lot of
I'ma buy
causes
the
to choose
police.
from, but you should start off with the people most in need. The U.S.
Nah, we don't care about
America
them.
is currently $36
Why we
trillion
paying the US
broker than a
government,
homeless
bro?
person. That number is increasing by $2 trillion a year. Luckily, we now have you. $220 billion honestly isn't gonna do much, but it's definitely gonna help. Assuming, of course, that the
Bro, Chad, why is there like a police chase going on? I don't know if you could hear that. There's like a whole police chase. I think I'm getting like raided.
U.S. government efficiently manages a $250 billion cash injection. You might be wondering how you're going to send the money. And the answer is pay.gov, an official website where you can make donations to the U.S. government to reduce the public debt. So let's just enter in your $220 billion right here and... Well, turns out the maximum amount the Treasury accepts is only $1 million.
That's interesting.
You just bought the government a bag of screws from Lockheed Martin. Maybe your money
They
will
on
put a
sale,
bigger
though.
dent
That's
into
pretty
medical
good.
debt. See, unlike the government, broke people dying of cancer aren't allowed to print more money to pay off their crippling obligations. Instead, their unpaid debts get sold off to collections for pennies on the dollar. But because of this discount, charities like Undo Medical Debt can erase $100 worth of debt for every $1 donation they receive. And with that ratio,
Wait, does that mean if I give them $1, they could give me back 100? I feel like that seems like a fair investment to me. I have to ask them about that.
so you could wipe out all the medical debt in the US for just $2.2 billion. But what about world hunger?
That's smart.
The
Mr.
UN
Beast?
estimated it would take $40 billion each year to end
Mr.
world
Beast is
hunger
in the
by
video.
2030. We could afford that. Next, how about we help out malnourished and starving college students?
That's a good idea.
Student loan
Oh.
debt in the US totals $1.777 trillion, with the government loaning out $87.2 billion a year. But before we try
That's
to
a lot of
attack
money.
this, there's a slight problem. Once universities catch wind that trillionaire Jesus is bailing out their victims, they'll probably just jack up their prices. On top of that, paying off loans
Low-key
might be seen as
smart.
unfair to older generations who had to pay their way
Man,
through college
look.
and pick themselves up by
They
their
probably gonna
bootstraps.
be like dead
Turns out
anyways.
philanthropy
It's all
isn't
good.
as easy as it seems.
It's not easy. Building Amazon was not easy. Philanthropy is very similar. It's really hard.
I agree with Jeff here. Let's just buy another $500 million yacht.
Good idea.
That's enough philanthropy for today.
We still got
You
58
still have
bills.
60 billion left, and I think I know how to spend it. It might
How?
be semi-cheating, but hear me out.
No, they just gave me the money back.
37%
I
of
ain't want a
Americans
refund.
can't afford an unexpected purchase over $400. Being a trillionaire, your passive income earns you $400 every 0.126 seconds. The median net worth under 35 is $39,000. As a trillionaire, you could exchange your toilet paper with rolls of $39,000 bills for your entire lifetime and it wouldn't put a
I don't
dent
think
in
that
your
exists,
finances.
though.
$1 trillion gives you horizons incomprehensible
that.
to the normal paycheck-to-paycheck living human. Even after your spending spree, you still have so much money left that it gives you too many options. You could launch space programs, clean up the ocean, fund institutions. 24 hours just isn't enough time for this much fun. So let's buy more time. Make yourself a trust and safely store your money in it. Now, all of those humanity-shifting endeavors, you can sleep on them. On the world's most expensive bed.
That look mad comfortable. Alright, Chad, we spent trillion. I feel like he kind of cheated at the end, but you know, it is what it is. Like and subscribe, chat.